It hits you like a punch you never saw coming. Folks, you are still trying to understand how it ended. You are still lying awake at night, replaying the last conversation, wondering what you missed, what you did wrong, and why the woman who once felt so close now feels like a stranger. Then you see it. She is already with someone new, smiling in photos, going places, looking like she moved on before you even learned how to breathe again. And in that moment, one brutal thought enters your mind. Maybe I meant nothing. But listen carefully. That thought is a lie. The speed at which she replaces you does not measure your worth. It often reveals what she is avoiding. Some people move fast because they are healed. But many move fast because silence hurts, because being alone forces them to feel what they have not processed. In this video, I am going to show you what her fast replacement really means, why speed is not the same as healing, why watching her new life keeps you trapped, and how to build the kind of stoic comeback that has nothing to do with revenge. By the end, you will stop competing with her story and start writing yours. You will learn how to let her go without bitterness, reclaim your focus, rebuild your strength, and become the man who no longer needs her ending to feel powerful ever again in any season of life. Let's get into it. Number 1. The pain when she replaces you. Folks, the pain when she replaces you fast is different from normal heartbreak. Losing her already hurts. But seeing another man step into the space you used to occupy hits a deeper nerve. It makes the breakup feel personal in a way that almost attacks your identity. You were still trying to breathe, still waking up with that heavy feeling in your chest, still replaying the last argument, the last message, the last look in her eyes. Then suddenly there she is, smiling beside someone new, and your mind does what wounded minds do. It creates a brutal story. Maybe I meant nothing. Maybe everything we had was easy to erase. Maybe he gives her something I never could. That is where the real damage begins, folks. Not from the fact that she is with someone new, but from the meaning you attach to it. You turn her speed into a verdict on your worth. You look at her new relationship like evidence in a trial where you are the accused man, and the sentence is, you were replaceable. Think about Marcus, 49, from Cleveland, and Denise, 45, his ex, after a 3-year relationship. Marcus thought he was slowly accepting the breakup. It still hurt, but he was functioning. He went to work, lifted a little, tried to sleep, tried to keep his pride. Then a friend showed him a photo of Denise at a rooftop restaurant with another man smiling like life had already moved on. Marcus felt sick. He did not just feel jealous, he felt erased. 3 years of dinners, road trips, family holidays, hard conversations, late-night plans, all of it suddenly looked cheap in his mind. He started asking questions he could not answer. Was she already talking to him before? Was I just a bridge? Did she ever really love me, folks? That is the gut punch. But listen carefully. A photo is not a full story. A smile is not proof of healing. A new man is not proof that you had no value. What Marcus saw was one image, but his pain built an entire movie around it. That movie showed Denise happier, more fulfilled, more desired, and completely free from him. But that was imagination, not truth. The Stoic move begins right there. You separate the event from the judgment. The event is simple. She is seeing someone new. The judgment is the poison. She replaced me because I meant nothing. She moved fast because I was not enough. She is winning because I am still hurting. Those judgments are not facts. They are wounds speaking in your voice right now. A strong man does not deny the pain. He names it. He says, "This hurts because I feel compared. This hurts because my pride is bleeding. This hurts because I am afraid I was easy to forget." Once he names it, the pain loses some of its hidden power. Do not compete with the new man in your mind. Do not measure your masculinity against a stranger. Do not make her timeline the ruler of your value. She can move fast, slow, loudly, quietly, proudly, or foolishly. None of that tells you what you are worth. Your first task is not to understand her. It is to stop letting her speed define you. Because being replaced fast can break your heart but believing it defines your worth can break your spirit. And that is the part a Stoic man refuses to surrender. If this hits home, comment below. I remain worthy. Stay with me, because next we will talk about why it feels like she won and why that belief is one of the biggest traps after a breakup. Number 2. Why it feels like she won. Folks, it feels like she won because your wounded pride has turned the breakup into a scoreboard. She moved on fast, so your mind says she is ahead. You are still hurting, so your mind says you are behind. She has someone new, so your mind says she is powerful. You are alone, so your mind says you lost. But stop right there. Who created that scoreboard? Not reality. Your pain did. Your fear did. Your ego did. Somewhere in the middle of heartbreak, you decided that the first person to appear happy wins and the person still healing loses. That belief is poison because it makes your peace depend on her timeline. If she posts a picture, you lose. If she smiles with him, you lose. If she looks unbothered, you lose. If she moves faster than you, you lose. Do you see the prison? You have placed your emotional state in the hands of a woman who is no longer walking beside you. You are letting her outer life decide your inner condition. That is not strength, folks. That is slavery with a different name. The Stoics would never measure a man's life by someone else's choices. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not. Her speed is not up to you. Her new relationship is not up to you. Her public image is not up to you. What is up to you is how you govern your thoughts, your habits, your attention, your body, your work, and your response. That is the only scoreboard that matters. Are you stronger than yesterday? Are you more disciplined than last week? Are you sleeping, training, working, praying, learning, and rebuilding? Are you becoming the kind of man who can survive loss without turning bitter? That is where victory lies, not in beating her, not in proving she made a mistake, not in waiting for her new relationship to fall apart so your pride can breathe again. She did not win because there was never a contest. There were two people after a breakup moving through pain in different ways. One may move fast, one may move slowly, one may run toward distraction, one may sit in silence and heal honestly. Speed does not prove victory, a smile does not prove peace. A new body beside her does not prove a healed heart inside her. And even if she truly is happy, what then? Does that mean you must be destroyed? Does her happiness cancel your worth? Does her moving forward mean you cannot rise? No, my friend, that is the childish math of a wounded man. A mature man understands that her life can continue and his life can still become powerful. The moment you stop competing, you take your power back. You stop asking whether she is doing better and start asking whether you are becoming better. You stop watching her race and start walking your road. You stop trying to win the breakup and start winning your own character. That is masculine peace. So when your mind says she won, answer it with truth. She chose her path. I choose mine. Her timeline is hers. My comeback is mine. Her story is not my scoreboard. My discipline is, because the man who stops keeping score becomes free. And once he is free, no photo, no new man, no fast replacement, and no public smile can decide his value again in his own life. That is the beginning of real authority inside a man after loss today again. If this speaks to you, comment below. I keep score within. Stay with me because next we will look at what her fast move really means and why it says far less about your worth than you think. Number 3. What her fast move really means. Folks, when she moves on fast, your first instinct is to make it about you. A man sees his ex with another man, and his mind immediately turns the knife inward. She replaced me because I was not enough. She found better. She must have been waiting for a chance to leave. But most of the time, her speed says less about your value and more about her relationship with emptiness. That is the truth you need to understand. A fast move is often not a sign of deep healing. It can be a sign that silence was too uncomfortable. Some people cannot sit alone after a breakup because being alone makes them face everything they avoided during the relationship. The regret, the grief, the guilt, the fear, the loneliness. So instead of facing the empty room, they fill it with another person. That does not mean her new relationship is guaranteed to fail. A Stoic man does not need to predict that. He does not sit around hoping her new connection falls apart so his pride can feel alive again. That is still attachment. The point is simpler and healthier. Stop assuming her speed proves your worth was low. Sometimes speed only proves she needed distraction fast. Think about Brian, 52 from Phoenix, and Angela, 47, his ex after 4 years together. 2 weeks after their breakup, Brian saw Angela at a restaurant with another man. She was laughing, leaning in, wearing the same necklace Brian bought her on their anniversary. That detail broke him. He went home, convinced the relationship had meant nothing. For days, Brian compared himself to the new man. Was he richer, better looking, more exciting? Did Angela feel more alive with him? But later, after talking with a close friend who knew both of them, Brian heard something that shifted his perspective. Angela had been terrified of being alone for years. Even during the relationship, she avoided silence, avoided difficult feelings, avoided sitting with discomfort. Her fast move was not a trophy over Brian. It was a familiar escape. That does not excuse anything. It simply explains the pattern. Folks, when someone replaces you fast, it may mean they were emotionally detached before the ending. It may mean they were seeking comfort. It may mean they were afraid of solitude. It may mean they do not know how to process pain without another person standing nearby. None of those meanings say you were worthless. The wounded man wants certainty. He wants to know why she did it. But mature strength accepts that you may never know the reason. You do not need perfect information to reclaim your peace. You only need to stop building your identity around her decision. A Stoic man looks at the event and removes the poison. The event is, she moved on quickly. The poison is, therefore I was nothing. Remove the poison, and the event loses its power. So let her move fast if that is what she chooses. Let her fill the silence if she cannot face it. Let her call it happiness, healing, or a new beginning. That is her story now. Your story is not to study her motive forever. Your story is to heal honestly, rebuild patiently, and refuse to measure your worth by how quickly someone else avoided being alone. Because a fast replacement may look like freedom from the outside, but real freedom is the man who no longer needs her choices to explain his value. If this opened your eyes, comment below. I know my worth. Stay with me, because next we will talk about why speed and healing are not the same thing, and why slow pain can become real strength. Number 4. Don't confuse speed with healing. Folks, do not confuse speed with healing. Just because she moved on fast does not mean she healed fast. Just because she has someone new beside her does not mean her heart has processed what ended. A new relationship can create noise, comfort, attention, and temporary relief, but none of those things automatically equal real recovery. Real healing is slower than appearance. Healing happens when a person sits with the loss, feels the grief, admits the truth, learns from the pain, and slowly rebuilds from the inside. It is not glamorous. It is not always visible. It does not always look powerful from the outside. Sometimes healing looks like quiet nights, heavy mornings, unanswered questions, and the discipline to keep going anyway. That is why you must stop telling yourself you are behind, because you are still hurting. Pain does not mean you are weak. Pain can mean you are actually facing what happened. The man who feels the wound, studies it, and lets it change him is not losing. He is doing the work that many people avoid. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your grief is standing in the way right now, but if you use it correctly, it becomes the way back to yourself. It becomes the fire that burns away illusion, weakness, dependency, and the part of you that thought your worth came from being chosen by her. Folks, there is a difference between escaping pain and transforming pain. Escaping pain says, I need someone new, so I do not feel empty. Transforming pain says, I will face this emptiness until it teaches me who I am. Escaping pain looks faster. Transforming pain makes a stronger man. And if this message is helping you rebuild your mind, instead of watching her life, consider joining the channel membership. Your support helps this community grow and helps us keep creating deeper Stoic lessons for men who choose discipline, strength, and self-respect after loss. Now listen closely. This does not mean her new relationship is fake. It does not mean you should wait for it to fail. That kind of thinking keeps you chained to her story. A Stoic man does not need her distraction to collapse in order to feel validated. He does not make his healing depend on her outcome. He simply understands the truth. Speed is not proof of peace. A person can jump into another relationship and still carry unresolved pain. A person can post smiling pictures and still feel confusion underneath. A person can look like they are ahead while quietly postponing the grief that will eventually demand to be felt. But none of that is your business now. Your business is what you do with your own pain. So do not be ashamed because you are not moving fast. Do not call yourself weak because you are not ready to replace her. Do not rush into someone else's arms just to prove you are desirable. That is not strength. That is using another person as medicine for a wound only honesty can heal. Let your healing be slow, if it needs to be slow. Let it be real. Train your body, clean your room, rebuild your routine, sit with the silence, learn the lesson, become harder to break and softer toward yourself. Because slow, honest healing beats fast, hollow distraction every time. The man who heals properly may look behind today, but in time, he becomes the one who actually moves forward whole. Your pace is not defeat, it is depth. If this speaks to you, comment below. I heal, honestly. Stay with me, because next we will talk about why watching her new life keeps reopening the wound you are trying to close. Number 5. Stop watching her new life. Folks, if she replaced you fast, one of the most dangerous things you can do is keep watching her new life. Checking her profile may feel harmless for a few seconds. You tell yourself you just want to know. You just want information. You just want to see if she is truly happy. But every time you look, you reopen the wound you are trying to heal. Your mind does not watch neutrally. It builds stories. You see one photo, and suddenly your imagination writes a whole movie. She looks happy. He must be better. She never smiled like that with me. Maybe she forgot everything. Maybe I was the problem. You take a frozen image, a short caption, a small public moment, and you turn it into evidence against yourself. That is emotional self-torture, folks. Think about Aaron, 51, from San Diego, and Melissa, 46, his ex, after a long relationship. After Melissa started dating another man, Aaron told himself he was strong enough to check her social media. At first it was once a week, then every night. Then whenever he felt lonely, he knew her new man's name, where they went for dinner, what beach they visited, and which friends liked the photos. The more Aaron watched, the weaker he felt. He stopped going to the gym consistently. He stayed up late scrolling. He compared his life to a highlight reel. He was no longer healing from the breakup. He was becoming an audience member in Melissa's new chapter, while his own chapter sat empty. That is what watching does. It steals your attention and gives it to the very place that hurts you. A Stoic man understands that attention is power. What you look at every day shapes what you think about. What you think about shapes how you feel. What you feel shapes how you act. So if your eyes keep returning to her life, do not be surprised when your mind stays trapped there too. You cannot build your comeback while constantly checking the scene of your pain. So mute her, unfollow her, block if you have to, not because you are weak, because you are disciplined. A man healing from a wound does not keep pressing on it to prove he is strong. He protects it so it can close. There is no honor in repeatedly poisoning your peace just to appear unbothered. Aaron finally changed when his brother said something simple: "You keep watching her live while you keep delaying yours." That sentence hit him hard. So Aaron deleted the shortcuts, stopped asking mutual friends about Melissa, and made one rule: no checking, no searching, no updates. For the first week it felt uncomfortable. By the third week his mind had more space. By the sixth he was back in the gym, sleeping better and thinking about his own goals again. Folks, that is how your energy returns. Not all at once, but piece by piece. First your mornings feel lighter, then your appetite returns, then your discipline wakes up, then you remember that your future still belongs to you. Her new life is not your assignment anymore. Her photos are not messages for you. Her happiness, pain, rebound, healing, or confusion is no longer your business. That may sound cold, but it is freedom. You are not being cruel by turning away. You are choosing not to bleed on the altar of someone else's story. Stop watching her new life. Start building yours. If this speaks to you, comment below. I reclaim focus. Stay with me, because next we will talk about the real power of letting her go completely and why release gives you back the energy pain has been stealing. Number 6. Let her go completely. Folks, letting her go completely is not the same as pretending you do not care. It is not posting cold quotes, acting unbothered, or telling yourself she was nothing. That is not release. That is pride wearing armor over a wound that is still bleeding. Real release is quieter. It is the moment you stop trying to control the meaning of her choices. You stop needing her new relationship to fail. You stop hoping she compares him to you. You stop watching for signs that she misses you. You stop building your peace around whether she regrets it. You simply hand her life back to her and take yours back into your own hands. That is what let her really means. Let her move fast. Let her choose him. Let her smile in photos. Let her tell herself whatever story she needs to tell. Let her be happy, confused, distracted, healed, or not healed. All of that belongs to her now. Your job is not to manage her path from a distance. Your job is to stop abandoning your own. Epictetus taught, some things are up to us and some things are not. That is the entire lesson after being replaced. Her choices are not up to you. Her timeline is not up to you. Her new man is not up to you. Her memories, regrets, silence, and future are not up to you. What is up to you is your attention, your discipline, your healing, your standards, and the way you carry yourself after the loss. Folks, most men say they want to let go, but they keep one hand on the rope. They stop texting but still check her page. They say they wish her well but secretly hope she suffers. They claim they moved on but still imagine the day she realizes what she lost. That is not freedom. That is emotional negotiation. Complete release means you stop needing any ending from her story to justify your value. If her new relationship works, you remain standing. If it fails, you remain standing. If she remembers you, you remain standing. If she never looks back, you remain standing. That is Stoic strength. Not because nothing hurts, but because nothing outside your control is allowed to become the foundation of your identity. This is not weakness. This is the clean courage of a man who finally understands that holding on to what left only delays what is waiting ahead now. This is where your energy returns. The energy you spent comparing comes back. The energy you spent resenting comes back. The energy you spent imagining her with him comes back. The energy you spent waiting for karma comes back. And once that energy returns, you can finally use it for the only comeback that matters. Your body, your work, your home, your money, your mind, your faith, your friendships, your future. Release is not a loss. Release is recovery. A man who lets her go completely stops being spiritually dragged behind her new life. He stops living like a witness to his own replacement. He stops asking whether she is happier and starts asking whether he is becoming stronger. That question rebuilds him. So do it cleanly. No dramatic speech, no long goodbye, no begging for closure from someone whose actions already gave you enough information. Just a decision. My peace is mine again. My future is mine again. My attention is mine again. Let her go completely, not because she deserves your indifference, but because you deserve your freedom. If this speaks to you, comment below. I release fully. Stay with me because next we will talk about how your Stoic comeback begins with you, not with revenge, regret, or her watching. Number 7. Your Stoic comeback starts now. Folks, your Stoic comeback does not begin when she regrets leaving. It does not begin when her new relationship falls apart. It does not begin when she checks your profile, misses your voice, or realizes that the man after you could not replace what you brought into her life. No, your comeback starts the moment you stop making her reaction the goal. Most men get this wrong. They say they are rebuilding, but secretly they are still performing for the woman who left. They go to the gym hoping she will see the change. They post success hoping she will feel regret. They chase money-style status and confidence with one hidden question underneath it all. Will this make her wish she stayed? Folks, that is not a comeback. That is still attachment wearing a better outfit. A real Stoic comeback is private before it is visible. It begins in the quiet choices nobody applauds. Getting out of bed when your chest feels heavy. Training when you would rather scroll. Eating right when sadness wants junk. Cleaning your home when your mind feels messy. Showing up to work when your focus is broken. Calling a brother instead of checking her page. Praying, reading, walking, lifting, breathing, and choosing not to collapse into the version of yourself that loss is trying to create. Think about Thomas, 51, from Indianapolis, and Karen, 47, the woman who replaced him 3 weeks after ending their relationship. Thomas was crushed. At first, everything he did was secretly about Karen. He wanted her to see him looking better. He wanted her to hear he was dating again. He wanted her to regret moving so fast. But that desire kept him trapped. One morning, Thomas caught himself dressing for a gym session and wondering whether Karen might eventually see the results online. He stopped, sat on the edge of the bed, and finally told himself the truth. If I am doing this for her, she still owns it. That sentence changed him. From that day, his comeback became his own. He trained because his body needed strength. He worked longer hours because his future needed structure. He stopped drinking late at night because his mind needed clarity. He reconnected with old friends because his spirit needed brotherhood. He started reading Stoic philosophy because his pain needed direction, not distraction. Months later, Thomas did look different. Stronger shoulders, cleaner eyes, calmer energy. But the deeper change was not his appearance. It was that Karen no longer sat at the center of his motivation. She had become part of the past, not the fuel of his identity. That is the shift, folks. A Stoic comeback turns pain into order. It takes the energy you were wasting on comparison and pours it into discipline. It takes the nights you spent imagining her with him and turns them into training, learning, building, and healing. It takes the question, why did she replace me, and replaces it with, what kind of man will I become now? That question saves you. Do not build, so she notices. Build because your life was never supposed to end where she left it. Do not improve to punish her. Improve because you owe the next version of yourself a stronger foundation. Do not rise to make her feel small. Rise because staying broken would be the real defeat. Your comeback starts now, not tomorrow, not after closure, not after you feel ready. Now. That is how a wounded man becomes stronger than yesterday. If this speaks to you, comment below. I rise now. Stay with me, because next we will talk about how time reveals what was real while you stay focused on building your own life. Number 8. Time reveals what was real. Folks, time reveals what was real, but only if you stop standing there waiting to watch it. That is the part most men miss. When she replaces you fast, your wounded pride wants time to expose her. You want the new relationship to crack. You want her to realize the mistake. You want life to prove that what she ran toward was weaker than what she left behind. But if you sit around waiting for that moment, you are still chained to her story. Time does reveal things. A relationship built on real connection, maturity, respect, and readiness will have room to grow. A relationship built on fear of being alone, avoidance, or emotional distraction will eventually meet the pain it was trying to outrun. That is not revenge. That is reality. Whatever is built on sand usually cannot pretend to be stone forever. But here is the Stoic truth. You do not need to monitor the sand. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If your thoughts stay fixed on her new life, your life stays shaped by her new life. If your mind keeps asking, is it working? Is it failing? Does she miss me? Does he treat her better? Then your attention is still living in a house you no longer belong to." A strong man understands that time is already doing its work without his supervision. If her new relationship is real, time will show it. If it is a rebound, time will show that too. If she was running from grief, time will bring that grief to the surface eventually. If she genuinely found peace, time will reveal that as well. But none of those outcomes should be the foundation of your recovery. Your comeback cannot depend on her ending. Because if you need her story to collapse before you can feel strong, then you are not strong yet. You are still waiting for permission. Folks, that is the difference between a bitter man and a stoic man. The bitter man says, just wait, it will fall apart. The stoic man says, time will reveal what it reveals, and I have work to do. The bitter man watches from the shadows. The stoic man builds in the light. The bitter man wants proof that she lost. The stoic man wants proof that he grew. That is the frame. So let time handle what belongs to time. Let truth rise without your help. Let her new life unfold without your eyes on it. You do not need updates. You do not need screenshots from friends. You do not need to know if they argued, if they posted, if they traveled, if they looked happy, if they stopped looking happy. All of that keeps you emotionally employed in a job you should have quit. Your job is your body, your discipline, your peace, your money, your purpose, your faith, your home, your future. Your job is to become so involved in your own rebuilding that when time finally reveals whatever it reveals, you are too far gone into your new life to need the information. That is freedom. And understand this, the most powerful proof will not be her failure. It will be your indifference. One day the news could arrive and your heart may stay quiet. Time will reveal what was real. But your duty is not to watch the revelation. Your duty is to become a man who no longer needs it. If this speaks to you, comment below. I trust time. Stay with me because next we will talk about the man she remembers and why the strongest version of you is built after you stop needing her regret. Number 9. Become the man she remembers. Folks, becoming the man she remembers is not about making her regret leaving. That is too small. That still keeps her at the center of your transformation. The real goal is to become so grounded, so disciplined, so quietly powerful that her memory of you no longer controls your life, even if one day your memory starts weighing heavily on hers. That is the difference between revenge and restoration. A wounded man wants to be remembered because he still needs validation. A healed man may be remembered because he became undeniable, but he no longer needs to know. He is not sitting around waiting for her to compare him to the new man. He is not hoping she wakes up one morning and realizes what she lost. He is too busy living inside the strength he built from the loss. Think about Raymond, 54, from Denver, and Patricia, 50, the woman who replaced him less than a month after their breakup. At first, Raymond felt humiliated. Patricia was posting photos with another man, while Raymond was still trying to sleep through the night. He wanted her to suffer. He wanted her to miss him. He wanted life to prove that she made a mistake. But after a while, that desire started to disgust him. Not because the pain disappeared, but because he realized he was still letting Patricia direct his energy. So Raymond changed the question. Instead of asking, will she regret this, he asked, what kind of man will I respect when I look in the mirror 6 months from now? That question saved him. He stopped checking Patricia's page. He started waking up earlier. He trained 4 mornings a week. He cleaned up his diet. He repaired old friendships he had neglected. He took a certification course for work. He started walking every evening without headphones, letting his mind settle instead of drowning it with noise. None of it looked dramatic. But day by day he became heavier in the best way. Calmer, sharper, less available to nonsense. Months later, Patricia saw him at a local charity dinner. Raymond did not perform. He did not ignore her like a boy trying to prove he was hurt. He was polite, steady, and completely centered. Patricia felt the change because real growth has a presence. It does not need to announce itself. Folks, that is the man she remembers. Not the man begging for answers, not the man competing with her rebound, not the man posting fake happiness to hide a broken spirit. She remembers the man who survived the replacement without becoming bitter, the man who carried pain with dignity, the man who turned humiliation into discipline, the man who became stronger without making his strength a performance for her. And here is the most important part. By the time you become that man, you may not care whether she remembers you or not. That is the real victory. Her regret is not the trophy. Your peace is. Her memory is not the reward. Your self-respect is. A Stoic man does not build himself as an advertisement to an ex. He builds himself as a duty to his own soul. He lets the wound become training. He lets the loss become wisdom. He lets the silence become focus. So become the man she remembers, but do not become him for her. Become him because the man you were before the pain is not strong enough for the life waiting ahead without asking for her approval again. If this speaks to you, comment below. I become stronger. Stay with me, because next we will close with the final truth. Your story begins without her, and that is where your real freedom starts. Number 10. Your story begins without her. Folks, this is where the whole lesson lands. Your story does not end because she chose someone else. It does not end because she replaced you, quickly posted new photos, laughed beside another man, or acted like the past could be packed away overnight. That may have been the end of her chapter with you, but it is not the end of you. A man forgets this when pain becomes the narrator. Pain tells him the best part of his life walked away. Pain tells him the new man has taken his place. Pain tells him the story is now about her happiness, her choices, her future, and whether she ever looks back. But pain is not wisdom. Pain is only a signal. Your story begins again the moment you stop letting her absence write your identity. Not when you feel perfectly healed. Not when you stop missing her completely. Not when you get an apology. It begins the moment you decide that your next chapter will not be built around what she did, who she chose, or how fast she moved. That decision is quiet, but it is powerful. You wake up and choose structure. You make the bed. You train the body. You feed yourself like a man who plans to live, not like a man waiting to be rescued. You return to work with sharper focus. You fix the areas of life you neglected while love was breaking. You stop using heartbreak as an excuse to collapse and start using it as proof that you can still stand after being hit. This is where many men misunderstand the comeback. They think the comeback is about becoming so impressive that she notices. No, folks, that still makes her the audience. The real comeback is when you stop needing an audience at all. You become disciplined because discipline gives you back control. You become calm because calm makes you dangerous to chaos. You become stronger because weakness already cost you enough. A Stoic man does not need the past to approve his future. He learns from it, thanks it for the lesson if he can, and walks forward with a cleaner mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." If your thoughts stay trapped in her new life, your life shrinks around her absence. If your thoughts move toward your own rebuilding, your future expands. So write something worth living. Write the chapter where you stop checking. Write the chapter where you stop competing. Write the chapter where your phone is no longer a window into your wound. Write the chapter where your mornings belong to training, your nights belong to peace, and your mind belongs to purpose. And understand this, She may become part of your history, but she does not get to become the title of your life. She was a chapter, maybe an important chapter, maybe a painful chapter, but no chapter gets to call itself the whole book unless you allow it. Let her have her path, let her have her choice, let her have the ending she created. You take the beginning that still belongs to you. Because the strongest man after heartbreak is not the one who proves he was better than her new man. It is the one who becomes too committed to his own life to keep measuring himself against either of them. No one can erase a man who keeps becoming. The only thing that could defeat you now is refusing the life still calling you forward today. Your story begins without her. And that is not a tragedy. That is your freedom. If this final lesson belongs to you, comment below. I write forward. Folks, remember this. When she replaces you fast, it does not mean your value disappeared. It does not mean the years, the effort, the love, or the man you were meant nothing. Her speed is not your sentence. Her new life is not your scoreboard. The real lesson is simple. Stop watching her story. Stop comparing yourself to the man after you. Stop confusing speed with healing. Let her go completely and put that energy back into your body, your mind, your purpose, your peace, and your future. Your Stoic comeback is not about revenge. It is about becoming so grounded, so disciplined, and so free that her choices no longer control your identity. And if this channel helps you rebuild your strength, your focus, and your self-respect, consider joining the channel membership. Your support helps us keep creating deeper Stoic lessons for men who are serious about becoming stronger after loss. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next video. Thank you for watching, folks. Stay strong, stay disciplined, and I will see you in the next one.